Welcome to DarkLoreTube, where the darkest stories come to life.
The fifth story. The Vanishing Ring. The boy heard the soft tinkle of a bell as he entered the shop. It was cool and dim inside. Nothing like he had expected. Scattered across the small store were all kinds of objects, from teddy bears to cuckoo. Clocks, each one carefully placed on neat wooden shelves or displayed behind glass. A faint, musty scent, like old fabric, lingered quietly in the air. There was something unsettling about the place, something quietly disturbing. Perhaps it was the darkness or the smell, but to the boy, it felt like a place that did not quite belong. Maybe even a place that should not be entered at all. As far as he could see, he was alone. "Hello?" he called out softly. "Is anyone here?" Only silence answered him. Thick, still, and unmoving. He turned toward the door, almost relieved to have a reason to leave, when suddenly a voice spoke from behind him. "Leaving so soon?" it asked. The boy turned sharply, and there, as if he had always been there, stood a tall, slender man, leaning casually against a glass case. The boy was certain he hadn't been there before. The man let out a quiet chuckle and stepped closer. The boy instinctively stepped back. Now, my dear boy," the man said gently. "There's no need to be afraid. I assure you, I mean no harm." The shop owner was unusual, extremely thin, dressed in a deep purple velvet suit with a bright red bow tie. A tall silk hat sat upon his head, casting shadows across his face. Only a long, sharp nose and a thin mustache could be made out. But his eyes were impossible to ignore, glowing brightly, shifting colors. Green, then red, then blue, before returning once more. What? Who are you?" the boy asked. The man extended a long, gloved hand. "Allow me to introduce myself," he said smoothly. "Walter O. Whimsy, collector and seller of rare and curious items, all at quite reasonable prices." Despite his odd appearance, there was something strangely charming about him. The boy shook his hand briefly, though a faint tingling sensation lingered after the touch. "A pleasure to meet you, Mr. O. Whimsy," he said politely. "I'm Toby," the man interrupted calmly. "Toby Daly." The boy froze. How did you know that?" "A small talent of mine," O. Whimsy replied with a wink. "Now then, what brings you here?" I'm not sure," the boy admitted. "I was just passing by, and I felt like I should come in." "Yes," the man said softly. "My shop tends to have that effect." "What is this place?" the boy asked, looking around. "This, my dear boy, is a collection of wonders, gathered from many places. Some you may know, and some far beyond imagination." He gestured toward a glass case. "Come, let me show you." The boy followed. From his pocket, O. Whimsy produced a small golden key, shaped like a delicate question mark, with a purple gem at its tip. He unlocked the case and carefully took out a tiny glass vial. Inside, a single dark strand rested. "This," he said with quiet pride, "is said to be a strand of Samson's hair, a symbol of great strength." The boy stared, unsure, yet strangely convinced. Before he could ask anything, the vial was returned, and another item appeared, an ancient book, bound in pale leather, marked with symbols no one could read. But the boy's attention had already shifted. "There," he said softly, pointing. On the shelf rested a small golden ring, placed neatly upon a square of purple cloth. "Ah," O. Whimsy said, lifting it carefully. "This is believed to come from the 11th Egyptian dynasty, once belonging to King Mentuhotep himself. It is said that it holds a very special power, one that can change the life of Its wearer? The boy knew it sounded impossible, yet something inside him told him otherwise. What kind of change? He asked. That, the man replied. I cannot say. I've never worn it myself. Perhaps I simply feared disappointment. May I try it? The boy asked quietly. Of course. The man smiled, his eyes shimmering faintly. The boy took the ring, careful not to touch the man's hand. The metal felt cool, almost comforting, as he placed it onto his finger. It fit perfectly. For a moment, he felt something, a strange surge flowing through him. Then, nothing. Well? A whimsy asked. The boy shook his head. Nothing happened. The man sighed. These things do occur. Perhaps it is just an ordinary ring after all. In that case, you may keep it. No cost. Really? The boy asked. Of course, the man replied kindly. Thank you, the boy said, admiring the ring once more before heading toward the door. Goodbye, Mr. O'Whimsy. I won't forget this. As the boy left, the man stepped back into the shadows, a faint smile forming. No, he whispered. I don't believe you will. The boy was more than halfway home when something strange began to happen. He glanced down at his hand to admire the ring again, and then he froze. Part of his hand was no longer visible, as if it had quietly faded away, yet the ring remained, floating where his finger should have been. He gasped, stepping back in fear. Alone on the empty road, he tried to remove the ring, but his fingers passed through empty space. He could not grasp it, could not move it. Slow. Why? The strange effect spread, moving up his hand to his wrist and beyond. He could no longer feel it. A cold realization settled in. It wasn't just becoming invisible, it was disappearing. He tried again, desperately, but the ring would not move. Panic rose within him. This couldn't be real. The image of the shopkeeper flashed in his mind. No longer kind, no longer harmless, something far more unsettling. The boy dropped his bag, pulled at his clothes, but it made no difference. His arm? Gone. His body? Slowly fading. Everything slipping away. The sensation moved upward, reaching his neck, his face. His thoughts began to blur. He struggled to remember where he was going, even who he was, until finally there was nothing left at all. The ring fell gently onto the dusty road, resting quietly under the bright sunlight, shining as if nothing had ever happened.